So a visual of your assignment is to add our login information to our current project. And our current project, we already had created a nice nav, and it did a home and a products, and that was super cool. And so now we're just going to implement to our project the login and the registration, and it should be pretty simple. If you watch the video that I provided before this, there are a couple things I need to caution you on, or I'd like to caution on, just to make sure you get set off on the right track. First of all, in your guitar shop, you have a user table, and if you have a user table, remember that Migrations is going to try and create its own table called, I think it's user or users. Any rate, if you want to, you can either delete your users table if you already have one, otherwise your migration will fail. Or if you want to, like, I don't ever like to delete anything. So if you want to just rename it, what you can do is come into your SQL and type in the command rename table, and then type in what the current table name is, and then the new table name. So I'm just going to say, do mine users hold or something like that, just so I still have it. And now you should be able to just run your migrate. I don't have anything up, but if you just type, I'm just going to type it in here, but in your command line, you could then do your PHP artisan migrate. And granted, it's not going to, it'll create your proper tables, but it won't overwrite anything that you currently have in your guitar database. So that will work out fine. And the other thing you're going to want to do is, when you run your npm install and npm run dev, it's going to want to overwrite. It's going to want to write its own app.blade. And so rather than doing that, what I did was I renamed my app whole.blade. That way I maintained whatever information was in here already, because I had some include to my nav, and I had a container and things I'd already set up. So what I could do then is let the install go ahead and create the new app blade, which was a little bit more complex than the one I had created. But then on top of that, I can then come in and edit, like I added back in, not incorrectly indented, but anyway, I added back in my include as I needed it, and my container as I needed it, and everything just kind of rolled from there. We haven't done this. If you're interested in the nav bar, if you put in this config app.name, this is coming from, let me just try and put that all together. This is coming from my environment variable. So in my environment file, I have a company name. And then if you look at it in my nav, that's what's coming up here. So that's how I created that part. But other than that, you should be able to implement a registration system in your current products database, and it should be relatively simple if you work through the video I provided before this video. So that's your assignment for the week.